Nigerian communities were given the go-ahead Wednesday to pursue compensation claims against oil giant Shell through the British courts. They claim leaks from pipelines have devastated the local environment in the Niger Delta. Henry Ridgwell reports.
The Ogale people claim oil spills from Shell pipelines since 1989 have ruined their coastal fisheries and water supply. The nearby Bile community are also suing Shell for allegedly failing to protect the pipelines from damage caused by people trying to steal the oil, so-called bunkering. Martin Day, lawyer for the Ogale and Bile claimants, says it is Shell's responsibility to prevent the thefts.
In any other part of the world, there will be a heck of a lot more done by an oil company to try and prevent it happening. And when it does happen, to make sure, firstly, you know as soon as it's happened, so good early warning systems. And secondly, that you immediately close down the pipeline to make sure that any leakage is very, very minimal.
Shell declined an interview but issued a statement saying that the areas are heavily impacted by crude oil theft, pipeline sabotage and illegal refining, which remain the main sources of pollution. Shell also pointed out it has produced no oil or gas in Ogoniland, which includes the Ogale area, since 1993.
Shell's pipelines pass through both Ogale and Bile, and it has been leaks from those pipes that have caused the damage. So the fact that Shell no longer actually extracting oil from the ground under those areas is really neither here nor there. In the end, it is their oil that has caused the damage.
Last year, British courts ruled Shell had to pay $77 million in compensation to the Bodo community in the Delta, whose land had also been hit by oil spills.
No question, but Shell don't want a repeat of that, so that's what they've been objecting to the case being heard in the UK. So we're very pleased that the judge has agreed to let us crack on with the case here.
Shell says it has already agreed to an 18-month clean-up plan with local communities and the United Nations and is expected to argue that the cases should be heard in Nigeria. A date for the next hearing in London is yet to be decided. Henry Ridgwell for VOA News, London.
Well, for more on the lawsuit against Shell company, journalist Paul Okolo joins me live via Skype from Abuja, Nigeria. And now, Paul, first tell us what has been the reaction in Nigeria to this decision by the courts.
It's usually very, very consistent in this area. Whenever there is a decision in favor of the people of the oil-producing Niger Delta, there is a sense of relief that at last the case is getting mentioned and that ultimately the people are going to get justice. So it's a sense of relief that people feel out here, and they are happy that at last this has come to international limelight.
Now, Paul, we know that this is not the first time that locals have actually tried to sue oil companies. This has happened in the past. Tell us, has there been any success, and to what extent has that benefited the local communities?
There have been successes in the past, not as much as the people would have loved to have, but a few cases have scaled through, especially coming from London or The Hague, and as a result of those cases, there have been some work done on the ground to make sure that the pollution caused by the effect of oil drilling is addressed. And we also get a sense that the oil companies are a bit more careful now with their operations, and they are not as careless as they used to be in those days when they operated almost unquestionably, and they were not answerable to anybody for misbehaviors.
Paul, what do people say regarding the government of Nigeria's concerns about the people who live in the areas where oil is taken from? Does the government enforce any laws there?
The government is trying to be more proactive and to be more responsive to the needs of the people of the oil-producing area these days. In those days of military rule, the same was not the case, as the government was grossly inefficient, and they were not answerable to anybody. But in this era of civil administration, we have seen an improvement in governance on the ground, and efforts are being made to make the people feel the effect of oil that is being produced by their community. And even the revenue that accrue to the revenues that accrue to the oil producing areas have gone up, and there is a commission now, the Niger Delta Development Commission, set up to look after their interests. And
all right,
a lot more is being done now than in the past.
Paul, thank you very much for your reporting there. Paul Okolo is an Abuja-based journalist reporting live via Skype from Abuja.